go. We're gonna have a little walk today. So come with me if you like. There is nothing important that I'm going to talk about. Enjoy the weather, the fresh air. Enjoy the news, the panoramas in the world. As if it's part of our weather. But the weather stays more or less the same throughout the ages. Are we taking good care of our weather together? So it is for finance. Imagine that we can work our problems ahead instead of making problems in the future, because we're not taking care of the problems at the same time. And these problems are becoming part also of investments that generate power as well. Optimizing is a good word for maximizing, enhancing, optimizing. Yes, very good word. There are some things we cannot change. There are some problems that take another side of history, and they carry old traumas, old regimes, ways of thinking, and they must be treated independently away from the solutions that we are bringing together. For example, Venezuela is asking for the Esquibo. I am born in Venezuela, and we study more than 50 years ago that I'm born. We know this is part of Venezuela in our map. It takes time and relations to get into that stage, and new ideas as well that can convert into the best of both worlds. We have the imagination to make new forms of political and finance alliances as well. For example, imagine that in Venezuela they both become one, and we can learn English and Spanish as well, as in Guyana. It takes more time to understand Venezuelan independence and the historical investments of Spain throughout hundreds of years. Those investments are well known in our relations as well, and psychology. That's pretty it. It's pretty it. What are we going to do then? The same way happens with China and Taiwan. So you have better themes to talk about right now, while you continue the other themes. But they cannot be left behind as well. But you cannot continue with the same way of trying to solve something that is only leading to create more problems. When you understand the capacity that we have to create more problems, even though it's based in history, to create more problems. So you cannot expect the leader of United States to go to China to talk about little things. That might seem as a lot because it's a little piece of land. And there's a lot of history behind. And there are no contemplations to look backwards when it comes to the United States. And we're all together as well, waiting for optimization, maximization, the enhancement of technology to be able to solve the best solutions that we can categorize at the same time around the world. So other countries do not have to wait to optimize themselves like decades later. It takes time to get used to having a scale in the tech globe map of the highest advancements. So industries and podcasters can compare their facilitation of knowledge, information, and values and the highest tendencies, but spiritually as well. We are more connected or less connected spiritually or on a psychic frequency. And this is what I'm here about. So you can have that notion. Looking for another bridge because they have closed one and it's going to rain in 1 hour. This is a new path for me. I've never walked through this Camino. Hey, I'm gonna have to go back. This is what you're going, you are entering a known territory. You might be talking about something you have never talked before. It's not yet programmed, written, experienced before. You want this design to happen. And you can work it out together with your most talented people and genius. You might take a turn more or less, you know. It is good to go somewhere new. It's very nice. Somewhere that is new. You do not have to close a deal as long as you know that you are making a deal. You're designing this deal. And that is the best outcome for both sides. Forget about the numbers. You can meet together with the numbers later. You can bring new politics to your problems. It doesn't matter how old you are and how traditional you are with the power that you are enhancing. You might think that you're not very happy with this. I know this part. I know what it is. I do not wish to speak about that part of knowing. It's on a lower sequence. There is no person in power that will want to move away from its power. The power of controlling and beholding. We all want to do our best. You feel you are in the right path. You might have never been there before. Maybe you have been there. You have glimpses. Of that memory. And you get used to it being in the right path. And enjoy it for its maximization and optimization to enhance all your people at the same time and the people of the world. And that warms my heart. I can feel it. Sometimes it's doing a psychic surgery before we speak. If there is a moment of privacy, because that part of our intelligence belongs to the public domain. And we're not very in contact with one another. Imagine the River Jordan. We had a lot of rain already. It's a beautiful cycle of water. So we have fresh air. Today the king had a speech. The parliament is called the ear parliamentary speech of the king. So beautiful. It started to rain with storms and ice. And very quickly it cleared the skies. And when I was in the store with the tourists, I said the king is speaking, and he must be clearing away for those who want war. They will have war. This is why diplomacy is the best key you can carry in your hearts, in your minds. There is no one that can fool you. Why would you allow people to fool you, knowing very well what they're doing? As they say, because that is the response with the action and the word nowadays. This is a very glorious moment to just walk where no one is walking, because it's between hours of rain. You will see the progress throughout every level of society as we are reporting from the ground. When you trust in your people and you get to categorize throughout the people themselves with the consciousness and the intelligence of the people in their hearts. That is what we love to associate with, by enhancing people's happiness. And movement is beautiful when you allow it to flow, the movement of the people. There will be always those who have stability and remain in their place, and you will discover investments of a sense of property that can as well be exchanged, as some will decide to stay and others will decide to part away into the exchange movements of a universal coin, where they are more active, talking, meeting people, and as they think to know, they're learning as well. And it is good to not know. You might feel to put the last word, and at the same time feel the necessity of the others to help you to get out of this. More and more, the leaders of the world will come to realize that they cannot be the leaders of the world without one another. And this will ease the pain and suffering of their people as well. It doesn't matter how disassociated you are from emotions, as being in touch with reality. You would invest more in your people. Of course, they want to invest to invade. The Arabs want to invest with the Spanish people to enter throughout the Spanish people in Europe and United States. That's already been documented. They're telling the Spanish people that they come from the Muslim world ethnically. And Spanish people are very good to taking money from investments. You have to be honest. If you want to alienate the Spanish community, to empower the white, and just toy with the Spanish people, like if they're working for you, it doesn't matter what you say or what to make believe on superiority stance. You are the ones who have all the connections with the white people in power. I cannot commit the mistakes of the past. When you talk with someone like me, for example, even though the connection is not straightforward, are we going to look at the tech globe map? How long is it going to take to see the tech globe map? At least on its early stage of design, there's a lot of work to do. There is so much work to do. But just building the screens is good enough to start with. They have already been built on Las Vegas. So we need it round to see also the South Pole. And this is the conclusion of a total understanding that's global. You will start to speak from a fourth dimension while you look towards the material, three-dimensional world altogether. You are not involved with the problematics and the dynamics within, the polarities within every single aspect. You will be taking care from another. And it's much easier when you have allowed the people to maximize themselves, optimize themselves, as myself as well, for my children and my mother, with more space to move as well. Yeah, I'm happy anywhere I go. What is it functional that is working? You know when it's working when you see the tech globe map is being built in China for Asia, in Nepal and India, in Africa, North Africa, South Africa, South America, North America. So people can travel with green energy and study together around the tech globe map. Come and go. And this creates the desire to return and let others go as well. There are many people in the world that are not functioning in their highest performance. As when I was in New York City, you become the best out of yourself from so much energy there is. And you have time to dance and you have time to celebrate, and you have time to love all of your friends as well, from all the ages, not because you are young. Is the energy field of New York City. People need to dance without their phones, by low. I like the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, he cannot rule as he wishes because he has other people in power. The government requires our identification in the phone this week. So we had to accept if we had to carry with the iPhone. I do not believe that is a good idea. There is nothing wrong if you are a good citizen, of course. It is better to understand the consequences for people who are going to lose their freedom by being controlled and having a surveillance where they will have to study and deepen in order to have a private life of their own. I asked to Europe to not expect too much from United Kingdom and United States because they are related together and they are codependent by a series of business and relations they had from the past, where the British feel engaged. You must work your way faster and think your own way. But the way you will do this is also to protect the people from around the world. United States needs critic. They only think of their money. These are people who are making believe the dream of artificial intelligence with a bunch of delusional propaganda does not exist. I won't talk about it right now, and I might never talk about it. I just want you to focus with your work and your investments and your regulations and laws, so you over-exceed. So you have your technologies, or there is a partition. The partition is never going to happen unless the technologies lose all the connections, not only from Europe, but also from the continents.
Right.
When you invest in yourself instead of trying to mediate. Unfortunately, politicians have no idea of the technologies we are entering. I myself have been there for the last 20 years with some breaks. Yeah, I have good memories here. It was 1 year ago that I walked this path every day until the 18th of May. So today is the 13th of May. I want you to know that you can see the path of everyone from around the world as they report from their soil, their needs, and what they have to offer from every field as we work together. I wish you to become more generous and connected, to acquire the highest technological and spiritual climax of our understandings. We're here to support you. We're here to make it shine. We're here to trust that you can do the work as leaders of the world. You cannot betray all your allies because you have made groups against others to get advantage over others. This will sooner will wash away as you come to your numbers and your realities and allow the truth to fall as we make it better into the stars. In this way, I hope the best news as a result and only. Bye.